Basketball fans, welcome into Canada's home for talking hoops. This is the Hangout. I am Akil Augustine, and as always, we got three folks who are going to yell at me and tell me how bad of a job I'm doing as the host of this show. You know him and love him from the Toronto Raptors broadcast. Looking real good today. I like that brown jacket. Way to change it up.
And you're doing a great job hosting so far.
Lies!
I'm into it.
Lies! Dan Gladman. The next guest in his pink sweater has to be up in, what, like 3 hours?
3 hours, yeah.
To do a morning show. Everybody loves Devo Brown.
Thank you. Great host of this show.
Seriously?
60 seconds in, I'm so impressed.
See, I went Eminem on them and said it about myself first, so now they're pretending to be nice.
Brilliant.
One of my favorite guests, member of the CBC family, Nikki Davis. Also a member of the CIA Bounce family, but we're talking about AAU basketball because y'all under investigation and stuff. I'm going to be non-playing. They're fixing that situation. But the Toronto Raptors had a situation to fix when they had two of the hottest or best, however you want to frame it, teams come and match up against them, and they won on a back-to-back, of course, finally getting Kyle and Kawhi together. But I'll start with Nikki. What did those two wins mean to you or signify to you, and even sprinkle in the end of that Atlanta game?
No, I just think that it just shows you how good the Toronto Raptors are this year. Deep bench. They play really well together, just really great chemistry. I think when Kawhi and Kyle actually get some more games together, it's even going to be better. But the things that made those wins special were the way they won them. They won the Atlanta game with their defense, and I thought the Indiana game was the way they shared the basketball. So it's just really nice to see, and it actually bodes well for them because when you think about the playoffs coming up, that what the potential of this team could be, and they're not even at 100% in terms of having everybody there and everybody healthy.
Devo, what are your takeaways from that?
The freak freaks me out. We know this, right? Giannis he is insane and talented, but we were able to match up with the Bucks. That's who I'm a little bit nervous about because they've been streaking. They've been hot as of recent. Indiana, same thing.
I'm not afraid of Indiana. I'm
not afraid. The matchups I'm not too worried about, but Milwaukee definitely, I thought that was something. They showed something there. They gritted that one out. Yesterday's game against the Hawks, I thought was a terribly played game until the end. That defense is what won that game. And you see that last couple plays, moving the ball and sharing the ball. Gladman was unreal.
No doubt. And I think each of the three games said something. As a Toronto Raptors fan, I was hurting after the San Antonio game. I was one of those people
that was a bad experience.
Who was kind of on the precipice of like, oh man, maybe I got my hopes up and it's not happening. But then the Milwaukee game, you had a huge
But
turnaround.
the San Antonio game though, it was like the audience was so hyped for that game. Yep. The adrenaline in that building was so hyped. I thought DeMar DeRozan felt like he had something to prove. It was one of those games where they're not playing.
Kawhi had something to prove.
But Kawhi's not the guy who's trying to prove anything. Like, I just don't think he's that kind of guy. I think DeMar DeRozan
out there trying to win the game.
No, I know.
He yelled after the first bucket.
Yeah, I know, but DeMar DeRozan, though, really made a statement in that game, and I think he was trying to shove it in Toronto's face. But I don't think San Antonio can sustain that kind of game for any type of series over 6 or 7
San Antonio came into that game playing very well, and the Raptors were kind of topsy-turvy at that point. It's almost like that game was a bit of a turning point for the Raptors because they've been turning it on ever since.
We saw the body language in that game. You're talking about the San Antonio game, and it's just no energy, no desire to win in that game. But they turned it around, which was, you said, was a good turnaround when they played against Milwaukee and Indiana. We needed that. But DeMar, I'm happy for DeMar in that game. It was nice. But Kawhi's happy. This is fine, man. He had a big game. He got a triple-double.
It was an adrenaline win for me for San Antonio, and I thought it was a really good win for San Antonio. And I think you're right, though. I think it did actually make Toronto wake up.
It lit a fire.
Wake up
Toronto came in, they weren't really, it wasn't just that game. They were winning some games, but you weren't seeing the fire and the energy that we've seen. You saw in the Milwaukee and the Indiana game.
I'll just say this. I was super happy with the end of that Atlanta game, and it's impressive to me when you're down 1 in the final possession of a game, potentially, that 5 guys touch the ball. I don't think I've seen that in the last couple of years. I can't recall the last time I've seen that where there's been that much trust. But moving forward now, this is the point of the year, of course. 10 days are available. The window opens for the flexibility of roster. The Toronto Raptors made a move. They waived Lorenzo Brown, former G League MVP, a player that they developed in their pipelines. They pick up a guy who was developed by the Warriors in Patrick McCaw. The league's going to investigate, but I'll start with you, Dan. Does this move move the needle for you? Is this what the Raptors needed to address? I look at his numbers.
I think it's an intriguing move. The numbers aren't going to tell much of the story. What I like about him is that he's 6'7" and he guards the guard position. I think that gives him a little bit of flexibility defensively. Also, you have a guy who was part of the Golden State championship team. He's got that pedigree going. Lorenzo Brown, I thought, was giving the team more last year when he was coming up and down from Raptors 905, and he had that rhythm and flow going.
So is this the addition you're hoping the Raptors make, or is there some other move that you want to see?
I mean, there's still a roster spot available. We'll
Yeah.
see who becomes available, but it's an intriguing move. The guy has some championship experience, and he is a body
play
at
a lot?
guard.
Yeah, but in championship experience, he's in his third year. I get being around guys like Clay and Steph, and I get that, but I don't. We need a shooter
right now.
We need a shooter. Danny Green can be inconsistent at times. CJ has
Shooting
not
40%.
stepped up, right? I mean, we need another scorer, someone that we can just dish that ball.
I just
out
don't
to
know
on
how
the
much. I
outside.
don't know how
We
much
need
he's
a
gonna
shooter.
play. Like,
Yeah.
how much is he really gonna play?
He's on the
Patrick
bench.
McCaw. Yeah, like I just don't. He didn't play a lot in Golden State. He may have been part of those winning teams, but he didn't contribute in those.
There were
those
some
wins a
games
lot.
though where he was a starter when there were
I
some
know, but that was
injuries.
because it was
He started
because
for
of
that
injuries,
team.
though. It was because of injuries.
Yeah, for the
it wasn't-
reason
it
doesn't
wasn't-
matter. What
yeah.
he
Well, when the
has
other guys
that
came,
experience.
I hear you. I just don't think that's what the Raptors need right
All
now.
right, so from Nikki's angle, I'm hearing another move needs to be made. Another
Yeah.
roster spot fill. All right,
I think so.
All-Star approaching. I'm going to throw this at you. I don't think the Raptors are going to get 3 All-Stars, but I know they're going to get Kawhi in there. So which of the other 2? Is it going to be Kyle? I know he's had a bit of an interesting year, or is it Pascal? Do you see either of these guys ending up in Charlotte, Devo Brown?
You know I love Pascal. When
Yes.
he got here and everyone was upset about Bismack leaving, I said Pascal is a guy. He's going to shine. He's not.
You were like a year early on that one.
It was right away, man. We'll go back. We'll check the tape on this.
Okay.
On this show.
But is he an All-Star?
We burn all the tapes.
Yeah, we don't want anyone to see the things we said.
This is true.
All-Star, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
I love him, but he's not polished enough yet.
So 1 All-Star from the first place Toronto Raptors at the All-Star game potentially.
No, they'll get 3.
They'll get 3. You're going all 3.
Who's the third?
Ooh.
Kyle?
You think
and
Kyle-
Pascal.
Kyle hasn't played enough for me.
Kyle is second in the league in assists. I think he's going to get in. Look, do I really think Serge Ibaka is going to get there? No. But I do believe he deserves the third amount of, I don't know, scrutiny or attention for it. The guy's averaging
Ahead of Pascal?
17 and 8. Yeah, Serge has had a terrific year. I think he has numbers. You know, the year Antonio Davis was an All-Star, 2001 or
Yeah.
02.
That was a low point, though.
Sure. That wasn't a low point.
Those are All-Star game it was. You want to watch Antonio Davis play in the All-Star game? What's he elbow people?
Where were you? Were you 10 years old watching
I was
soccer then?
about 16 or
Antonio
15.
Davis was a nice All-Star, and he was fabulous that year, and he carried the Raptors on his back to the playoffs in 2000. That's a whole other
Dan,
story.
you don't understand the All-Star game. I don't think you understand the All-Star game at
the
all.
thing, though. You're saying-
Exactly. That's why we
Nobody's
shouldn't
tuning
even be
in for
talking
Antonio
about
Davis.
it.
You say you
Still,
want 3,
hey,
right?
Put
still,
Serge in the All-Star game.
Shut up, Ben. Still more to come
Ben.
here on Canada's home for. Well, you guys don't take the cues. For Canada's home for taking cues, apparently, or hoops. We gotta go big game hunting. Bucks, Rockets. Mans are dropping like flies. That's my dog too, Jamal. Man, I feel for you. James Harden doing his thing. Get your skates on. We're going skating.